In early 14th century, a young missionary from Johor by the name of Syed Abubakar arrived in Buansa, the capital of what is now Sultanate of Sulu or Lupa Su. He married Faramisuli, the daughter of local ruler Raja Baginda. Syed Abubakar established the Sultanate of Sulu and assumed the name of Shariful Hashim, being one of the great-great-grandson of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, and thus the beginning of one of the greatest empire in the world. His rule was far and wide, with almost all what is now Philippine archipelago. When he died, his eldest son Kamaluddin succeeded him. Thus the law of succession was established. The law of primogeniture has been followed down vertically. An exclusive right of inheritance belonging to the eldest son. The successor to the throne is always the eldest son, as always in the case of Hasinai Kingdom. In succeeding years, Sultan Salahuddin Karamat Bakhtiar acquired North Borneo sometime in 1673 as a reward from the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan Abdul Hakul Mubin, as a reward from quelling the rebellion in the domain. From 1735 to 1775, Sultan Alimuddin ruled the Sultanate. He was succeeded by his brothers later until his eldest son, Sharafuddin, took over the reign and lasted only for 9 years. His son, Sultan Alimuddin III, lasted only for a few months. His son was too young to be crowned, so his brothers took over as sultans. In 1823, Sultan Alimuddin III's son, Jamalul Kiram I, took over the reign from his uncle that lasted for 21 years. He was succeeded by his son, Datu Padilon, and assumed the name of Sultan Muhammad Pulalun. He ruled from 1844 to 1862. He was succeeded by his son Jamalul Alam from 1862 to 1881. It was during his reign that North Borneo was leased to North Borneo Chartered Company through its representative Gustavus Baron de Overbeck and Alfred Dent. The agreement between the Sultanate and the British Company was the area along Kinabatangan River that made it appear the whole of North Borneo, where in the history of the world a ruler would lease his entire domain. But that is already history. Jamalul Alam was succeeded by his son Badaruddin II from 1881 to 1886. He has no son to succeed him, so his brother Jamalul Kiram II took over the throne. It was during his reign a treaty of friendship with the United States was signed. His rule lasted for 50 years. Sultan Jamalul Kiram II, 1886 to 1936. He was succeeded by his brother Mawalil Wasit, but lasted only for a few months. When the Second World War was in progress, his son Ismail Kiram joined the United States Armed Forces in the Far East, or USAPE, with the rank of a captain. He was crowned as Sultan in 1950. He was responsible of the transfer of sovereignty to the Republic of the Philippines, with conditions stipulated thereat. After a certain period of time, the transfer of sovereignty is ipso facto, or null and void. At the height of the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF conflict, his son Mahakuta Kiram was the youngest vice mayor and later mayor and deputy governor. Malacanang was in search of Mahakuta Kiram for several months. He was found later in Cagayan de Sulu and later installed as 34th legitimate Sultan of Sulu and North Borneo, being the crown prince of late Sultan Ismail Kiram. His crown prince was Muedzul Lail Tan Kiram. The installation took place in Plaza Tulay in Holo, Sulu, on May 24, 1974. On February 16, 1986, Sultan Mahakuta Kiram died. His son Raja Muda Muedzul Lail Tan Kiram was still young then. His uncle, first cousin of Mahakuta Kiram, asked to be installed as acting sultan. His acting capacity lasted for 28 years until his demise. On September 16, 2013, Raja Muda Muedzul Lail Tan Kiram, through the insistence of his supporters and relatives, was installed as the 35th legitimate Sultan of Sulu and North Borneo. The transfer of sovereignty lies now in the hands of Sultan Muedzul Lail Tan Kiram. Since time has already lapsed and North Borneo is still under Malaysia illegally, the transfer is now null and void. Therefore, the sovereignty of North Borneo is now back to the Sultanate, being the direct descendant of Sultan Ismail Kiram. He has the sole authority to revoke the transfer of sovereignty.